call this meeting to order, please. Call the roll.
Ross.
Here.
Hamilton.
Here.
Taylor.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Baxter.
Here.
Harris. Ginn.
Here.
And Height.
Present.
A quorum is present.
If y'all all stand for the prayer and the pledge of allegiance, I'd appreciate it. I want everyone in this audience tonight and everyone who could hear us to think back, dear Lord, 21 years ago. Let's remember and never forget what our first responders did, not only in New York, but around the nation, and especially in our city here in North Little Rock. It is a special place to be living in, to work in, to play in. I've been to several events today, probably a lot of you have, and we try to remember what exactly happened. I guess what I want to say to you, dear Lord, don't ever let us forget. Let us always remember what we're about, what our duties are as council members, mayors, as citizens of our city, and as citizens of this nation. I thank you for always listening to us. We try to do our best to make sure we make you happy for what we do, not only here but everywhere, and just how we live our lives. With that, I ask you in your name, I want to say, all of us say together, Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Move in second.
Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Communications,
Can we pull number 9?
pull number 9.
Number 4, please, Mayor.
4 and 9 so far on communications,
They say 4.
and 9.
Hold it.
To pull 4 and 9, and the rest of them,
Move to accept and file the remaining.
accept and file, all in favor?
Second.
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross. Yes. Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter. Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
4 of them, please.
Communication.
Okay, Mayor, I'd just like a little explanation here to my colleagues on the council here. You perhaps recall a couple of weeks ago, we had a petition from Ms. Dinkins Armstrong, in reference to this restricted parking district. There was some clerical errors as it relates to the petition itself. So she went back through the process of getting it on the right form, getting it notarized properly, and just want y'all to know that she wants to proceed on with creating this parking district on her street, which we really haven't done a specific block in some time. So she's aware that she will have to also be responsible for the publishing of the notice in the newspaper. So just letting you know that's kind of what's going on with this one, having seen this address before.
Yes, sir, Mr.
I guess I'll ask this question of the city attorney and for Councilmember Ross. I think you were in on the conversations and the discussion with the former city attorney when we put this together back, I'm going to say 8 years ago, 6 or 8 years ago. And correct me if I'm wrong, but for them to have a restricted parking district, there must be a POA or an improvement district in place. There's not?
No, they can also have a percentage of the owners of the property owners.
I
and
thought
I'm
we,
sure that's what you
I
were
thought
going
that
back
was
to.
only reason that we could get one in Overbrook and Lakewood because there was property owners associations or improvement districts in place.
Right, that's
You
there's
couldn't-
several different ways that you can do it, and one of them is with the owners. You know, if the owners on the block want no parking in the yard, we can do a parking district as small as 1 block, and that's basically what they're doing.
Ms. Robinson, if you
And
don't mind. Mayor,
I
you?
I'm
I'm going to go Ms. Robinson and then Mr. Baxter, if you don't mind.
I have 2 in Ward 2. One is in Argenta, and the other one is in Stone Links. The one in Stone Links that came through was through the Stone Links neighborhood group, because they had a petition and everything, and then the one in Argenta was presented years ago from the Argenta boosters. So I have 2 restricted parking in my area. Of course, now the law or policies may have since changed, but I have 2 that went through the neighborhood groups.
But it's the whole neighborhood though, correct? It's not just a street, it's the whole neighborhood.
Mine's the whole neighborhood.
Let me,
A second, please, Mr. Baxter, if you don't
oh,
mind.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I
Um,
mean, he had his
oh,
hand.
hey, I'm sorry.
Mr. Baxter?
Mr. Hyde had said the question was for the city attorney, so
I know,
was
but let me get
gonna-
Mr.
go ahead.
Baxter, and
Go
I'll
ahead,
come
Mr.
to you.
Baxter.
Mr. Baxter?
Well, I'm just saying, and according to our ordinance, Alderman Height, you are correct. A POA or a neighborhood association is one group who can do the petition. Additionally, it allows in our ordinance for 75% of the assist property owners on a specific block to go ahead and request the petition and go forward with the restricted parking district.
But you have to have the whole area that the parking,
No, sir.
Ms. Fields?
okay.
Councilmember Baxter is correct, and if it was actually 2 blocks and they had 75% of people in 2 blocks or whatever the defined area is, but we do not limit only property owners who live in areas with an improvement district or a POA of the ability to come to the city council and request that the parking restrictions be applied to them just like they are to other property owners who live in places with POAs or improvement districts.
Okay. Anybody else? Got you. So let's go ahead and go to, if you want to.
Well, Mayor, at this time, I'd like to accept and file number 4.
Got you.
Second.
Before we vote, can we read the communication for the records, please?
Please do.
You have the title. Thank you.
Marion DeKennis Armstrong, petition for property owners for establishment of a restricted parking district, no parking on front or side lawns, Ward 3 in the block of 55th Street off Camp Robinson Road and Maple Street to Crescent Street.
Okay.
Now, go forward.
On the roll, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Number 9. I want you to go ahead and read it and let me have it up, please, if you don't
Yes,
mind.
sir.
Please.
Captain Dustin Free, North Rock Fire Department, update, firefighter combat challenge.
Dustin, where are you? Come on up forward, please. Yes, sir.
All right. Basically, we had the firefighter challenge this past Friday and Saturday. Had a really good turnout. The weather cooperated with us really well. This couldn't have happened without our volunteers. One of the things I want to talk about first before we get into the full details is the junior ROTC from the high school came out on Saturday and did a phenomenal job of getting out. They came 2 hours early. They practiced. They presented colors and did a professional job. They looked like they'd been doing it for years. They were in sync with each other. Their steps were just right, and they had great leadership. So for those that are listening that has a family member or a friend that's on the junior ROTC, they deserve a big hug and a pat on the back because they actually saved our event with having the volunteers there. So we had 11 different states represented at this event. They traveled from all over the country. They trained, they practiced hard, and what they were doing is just basically the physical part of what the fire service is. They start at the bottom of the tower. They carry a high-rise pack that weighs 42 pounds to the top of the tower. They throw it in a basket. They have a rope that's over the top of it. They hoist that rope with another 42-pound, what's called donut row at the bottom, over the trail. They run back down the steps. They have to hit every single step on the way down. They can skip as many as they want on the way up. They have to hit every single one on the way down. Once they come off of that, they go to the Kaiser Forcible Entry Tool, which is taking a 9.5-pound rubber mallet and standing on a platform with this 160-pound steel beam at between their feet, and they're driving it backwards, as you can see right there, with that 9.5-pound rubber mallet. Some of these guys can hit that thing 3 times and it's falling off the back. It's unbelievable. Then they come off of that. They run through a serpentine, they grab a hose, and they drag a hose through a saloon door and spray at the target. Once the target falls, they run over to the rescue Randy doll, which weighs 175 pounds. They pick it up to where its back's against their chest, and they drag it backwards through the finish line, and they're trying to get the best time. So if they miss any of those steps, or if they don't lay their hammer in the right place, or they trip or fall or anything like that, then they're added points on, or added seconds onto their time. And North Little Rock, the team that was put together with
I heard we got cheated.
we got cheated.
That's what I thought.
We got cheated. So North Little Rock actually had the better time in the final race, and but they got docked 2-second points. So it was 124.05 for North Little Rock and 127.05 for Corinth, Mississippi. We had 2 4-second penalties, which put us exactly 1 second behind the first place. So we ended up with the medals, but not to hang our head on that one, but obviously they the guys did exactly what they do. They put their training into action, and they showed on this course. They showed to be right up there with these competitors that have been training all year long for this, and our team was literally put together in the last month. So we actually have a team that I believe is in the elite that can compete in this annually, and they travel all over the country. This was the last regional event for this season, so they're going now to, in 2 weeks, they will be in Florida for a national event, and then they're going to Utah for the World Series. And when they go to the World Series, there's literally around the globe, there's firefighters from all different countries. In 2016, I think there was, when our first original team went through this, there were 13 different countries that were represented at that. Now, that's the Combat Challenge course itself and how it all lays out and who all was there. One of the things that we added to this, we had them bring a kids course. And on Friday, during the day, we had all the 5th graders from all the schools. They had been competing at their schools to find the fastest boy and the fastest girl in the school, in that school. They qualified to come and bring all of their 5th grade peers with them on a field trip to do this event. They ran through, and Ridge Road and 7th Street had the 2 fastest. And we got trophies that we're going to display at the schools so they can see it all year long. And then next year when we do this again, I'll just like the boot trophy, I'm gonna go pick it up, and then they'll be competing for those same 2 trophies. Again, Innovation Hub supplied us with the 3D print of a female firefighter and a male firefighter, and it says the fastest 5th grade boy in the North Little Rock School District and fastest 5th grade girl in the North Little Rock School District. Overall, it was an amazing weekend. A lot of work went into it. We worked with the CVB, we worked with Sheriff Brazier, Jeff Kappelinger. The mayor has been supportive of this since when he was in the Parks Department. He actually came to me, and Mayor, I'm gonna tell this story if you don't mind, met me out front, and he goes, "Dustin, we're gonna do that firefighting thing again this year." And I said, "Well, boss, I do that firefighting thing every day. I'm not sure what you're talking about." He said, "You know the competition that gets people in our city so we can show off our city and get them here to eat in our restaurants, stay in our hotels. I want people to see our city." And we talked about what it would take to get here, and he said, "Do it, I want them here." So we did what he asked, and we got them here, and the company actually sends out surveys after every event. And I talked to the CEO just about an hour and a half ago, and he said that he's already getting those surveys back, which is really quick, since how just this ended 2 days ago. And he said he's not got one single negative survey back about North Little Rock. They love the hospitality. They love the downtown area. The Dogtown Throwdown just happened to coincide with what we had going on, so they were able to go down on Friday night. CVB had a after party for everybody to come to and provide all the refreshments. And it was a great event, and they also liked how easy it was to get to the airport. Those are the main things that he was saying about this, and they want to come back, and we'll just see what we can do to see if we can make that happen in the future. But I appreciate the Ms. Robinson. She came out, did an excellent job giving a speech, welcoming everybody in. Chief Davis came out on the first day and gave speeches, and I got to talk to everybody and welcome everybody into the city, and on y'all's behalf, tell them how much we all appreciated them coming to our city and participating.
Appreciate you very much. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Dustin. Thank y'all.
Move
very
to
much.
accept and file.
Move to accept and file.
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Presentations, I think we have some tonight, if we don't mind. CARES update. Daryl, you're there? Where's Daryl? Oh, come on up, Daryl. I saw you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Mayor, and members of the council. I have with me Kevin Newsom of the Lakeland Library. I'm certainly one of our partners with the North Little Rock Cares Youth Coalition. You should have at your dais a copy of the presentation, and Newsom is going to start off, and we'll end up finishing up. You can have there.
Kevin, you're on.
Thank you for the time to talk to you about what we've got going on with the North Little Rock Cares Youth Coalition. It was formed back in May of 2021. COVID did put a little bit of a damper on some of the things that we wanted to do, but at the same time, I feel like we've made quite a bit of progress on what we wanted to do with that. Some of the accomplishments we've had over 277 visitors to our resource directory. The resource directory is put together by the staff of the Lehman Library. It's had 319 visits, 407 page views. If you're not familiar with that, please go take a look at that resource directory. And what we want that to be for is for people who don't know where to get certain types of help, be that educational improvement, be that food, be it some of the most basic needs, including healthcare, where that is available so that people don't just have to wander around or have to suffer through things. We also did a youth job fair. This took place at the North Little Rock Community Center, and I think Mr. Montgomery will probably have to remind me of the numbers. Did we have 40-plus companies that were there at that? Want more youth to be involved in that the next go-around, but we had a really good response from the business community in North Little Rock and the surrounding areas to try to help high school youth specifically try to find jobs. It was available to other people that were a little older than that, but really the focus was on the youth of the city to try to give them jobs and get them money in their pocket.
And certainly, we are excited to be able to partner with the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission and working with the North Little Rock School District is certainly an integral partner, as well as our police department, Chief Teslin, for a nonviolence youth summit in coordination with the school district. Thursday, November the 17th has been selected as the date. It will be held at the North Little Rock High School from the hours of 10 to 3. And there's going to be a guest speaker. They're working on an infamous guest speaker to come in that the kids would enjoy, a rap artist or someone of that nature to come in. There's also an entertainer who will provide. The guest speaker will be there on campus at 1 o'clock. The entertainment will begin at 1:30. So as it is solidified, probably by next week, we certainly will let everyone know, and would like for you to certainly come out and support the event if possible. And so we're excited about where we're going. We're excited about what we've accomplished. And I like the words to live by. It says, you only live once. And if you do it right, once is enough. And I think we're doing some things right with the North Little Rock Cares Youth Coalition. We have the right people together from our city. We have the right focus, and we are doing some fabulous things, and certainly more to come. So thank you, Mayor, for your support. Thank you, Council. Thank you, citizens of North Little Rock.
Devin, Daryl, Kevin, thank y'all for all you do. Anything? And Linda, I know you've been very part of that from the start too, so anyway, thank you, sir, appreciate it. Anybody, any questions? Not, thank you very much for the presentation. All right. We have no public hearings. I think we have some public comment. I got records here, is that right, Caitlin?
Yes, sir.
Public comments. I've got a sign-in sheet here. Remember, you have 3 minutes, and I guess the first one on this one would be, is it Miss Summer Clark Day? Miss Day?
Good evening, Mayor Hartwick. My name is Summer Clark, and I'm the managing agent for the Overbrook Property Owners Association. I feel confident that Mr. Height and Ms. Ginn are both aware of why I'm speaking this evening, as are several other council members. I'm here representing our property owners regarding R-22-192, the agreement to rehabilitate the property located at 1101 Cache River Road. Over the last 10 years, this particular property has been a nuisance in more than one way. We are understanding and grateful that the council has given these property owners the opportunity to rehabilitate. Unfortunately, there's a history that they have not met timelines set up for them or guidelines that have been put in place. We would like you to consider moving this along expeditiously.
Can I interrupt you just a minute? Those pictures are not Cache River.
I don't believe so.
This is on Candlewick, those pictures
Understand.
that they're showing.
Can y'all hear us back to back, guys? Take those pictures down, please. Thank you. Keep on going, Ms. Sullivan.
The greatest concern is the securing of the area during condemnation and rehabilitation agreement. There's a swimming pool in the backyard where there's already been a death once. That fencing is not secure currently. We do not want any more accidents for our community, obviously. So we would ask that you keep a strict eye on that. We are in contact with our wonderful code enforcement officers. Ms. Felicia and Mr. Ward have done an excellent job communicating with us and keeping us in the loop, as has the city attorney. We just ask that you consider our greatest concerns in this.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Appreciate it. I have another person who'd like to public speak, and that would be Mr. Vess. Mr. Vess? Yes, sir, come on up.
Mayor, City Council, what I would like to do is speak when,
You're addressing R-22-192, right, Mr. Vess?
yeah, and I'd like to
Okay.
speak when it comes up.
Okay, you don't, well, you had your name down as public comment,
I know it.
so you want to stop?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'll call it.
Anything else? I've got, anybody else in public comment? I'm not seeing anything on here.
Mayor,
Yes, sir?
there are several people in the audience that are here because of that.
Can I wait till we get to the?
I'll just have them stand up.
I will at R-22-192 is what I plan
Okay.
on, if that's okay with y'all out there in the audience. Is that okay with y'all? We'll get through it real soon if you don't mind. So just sit tight. I haven't forgotten you, I promise you, okay? So, where are we then? We're through with the public comment.
Unfinished business, R-22-141.
R-22-141, and I'm going to call it tonight. Yes, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute real estate contract to sell certain real property located near Riverfront Drive and Smart House Way in the city of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm going to ask to call it.
Move for adoption. Let's get it on the floor
Motion to
first.
adopt and second. I think you have some questions.
Well, I understand, I think, is the contractor here? or
Yes,
the
they are. I
developer?
asked them to come tonight. You guys come on up. I see you there. Please, Terra Farmer.
Just kind of give us an update on what you're doing.
And did you all receive, while you're getting up here, did you all receive the conceptual drawings I sent you
About
today?
10:30 this morning?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. If you could
Go
just kind
ahead.
of explain,
Please, they want to explain what you're doing,
Saw
where
the
you're doing it,
pictures,
and-
But everyone else is curious
Yeah,
too.
definitely. I'm George. I represent JCDD, the buyer. But yeah, so we got that survey back, and it was discovered that 2/3 of the property was not buildable. So really, we're working with architects and engineers to get through due diligence. But yeah, we sent around that site plan that it reflects 7 condominiums, 2 to 3 stories in height. But that's really about all we can do there. But we are making good progress, and once we close, we'll make every effort to begin construction soon thereafter.
Mr. Height, I thought you had a question earlier today about it, too.
I was going to ask, what kind of apartments are those going to be?
Those are condominiums, so they would be sold off individually.
So do you want us to go ahead and, Ms. Ross?
That was just the question, because I'd had people asking me, are they going to build apartments there when there's not enough land? And so it's 7 condominiums. That's
Sure.
what okay,
Yes,
thank you.
that's the plan right now.
Thank you.
Then there's a motion, Mr.
How many
Mayor?
square feet will I saw a type A and a type B. About how many square feet will each one be?
We have them at anywhere from 1,000 square feet. I think the larger ones maybe on the 2,000 square foot side, but they're tight in width, so we have to go vertical. It's just a limitation of that site. But yeah, living area anywhere from 1,000, 2,000 square feet. We're still trying to pin down those exact numbers.
Do y'all want to go forward with that, or do y'all want to wait for us to get some more information?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay.
Okay, we have
Anybody
a
else?
motion and a second on the roll. Ross?
Yes?
Hamilton?
Pass.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Thank y'all, appreciate it. Robert, you'll take care of that first, if you don't mind, please. Or, go ahead, I'm sorry.
R 22-170, I have a note here that this one needs to be pulled. Is that correct, Amy?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's go, withdraw R 22-170 then, please.
Okay. Consent items, is there anything anyone would like pulled from the consent?
That'd be dealing with R 22-177 through R 22-182. Is that, is it?
190.
So anybody like to pull that, any of those? If not? Go. I'll ask for in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Nathan.
All right. Then we'll go into new business, R 22-191, council members Robinson and Taylor.
Call it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, we did consent on 177 through 182. We got to go 122-183 there, Caitlin. Somebody, if it's 190? So is anybody want, let's go make sure we're clear through with that then. So we're going through 122, so 183 through 190. Anybody want to discuss those three? If not, I'll ask for an aye. Is that correct now? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, that effective. Sorry, Caitlin, my apologies.
All right, R 22-191, can we maybe call that one?
Please.
A resolution amending the 2022 budget for the city of North Little Rock to include additional expenses in certain budgets and for other purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross? Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we at least say what it's for? I mean, it's a good cause.
Yes, you can. Amber?
I know you know what it's for, but not everybody
know they
else
don't.
does. I think the people in Rose City need to know what they're getting. I know
I think
there's a
they're
lot of
gonna love
areas
it.
that would
Go ahead,
love to
Ms.
have
Amber,
this.
please.
A lot of areas would love it.
This is a budget amendment to amend the general fund for the health clinic in Rose City for $3,950,000. This will just come out of the general fund.
And there's a kind of a picture, you're gonna see some pictures of what we've done out there at the highway, East Broadway and 165. So go ahead and scroll, that's kind of what it looked like before. And what we've done is, Robert, you might chime in, we had a groundbreaking with the people out there with Baptist Hospital. Third demolition. And that's getting too close to what it looks like now, where that whole area is gonna be cleaned up. The people in the audience now, what we're doing out there is the Baptist Hospital and the City of North Little Rock is putting in a health clinic. Also with that, the health clinic that is up there by our community center, by Hayes Center, that's going to be moving out there also. So you can see kind of the largest of the area, and that's kind of what you're looking at is what it used to look like and what it looks like now. I'm very proud with that area being cleaned up and what it's going to be used for. So that's, of course, that's sponsored by memberships Robinson and Taylor and myself. So anybody? Bart? Anybody questions? Okay.
All right, on the motion, Ross?
Yes?
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R 22-192, Mayor Hartwick?
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an agreement to rehabilitate property for certain real property located at 1101 Cache River Road in the city of North Little Rock.
There's somebody, Stuart, I think that was you, wasn't it now? All right, come on.
Get it on the floor.
Yeah, get a motion.
So moved.
Second.
hang on just a second. Motion is second. Now, hang on, Stuart. Mr. Hamilton?
Counselor, in terms of deadlines, I know we condemned it first, and then they had a certain amount of time to enter into agreement. Was all that met?
They were a little late on entering into the agreement. Two of the owners of this property are currently incarcerated. Our office was in close contact with Mr. Vest because he represents the property owners. When you have incarcerated individuals, the process takes longer sometimes.
Okay.
And so it took a little more than 30 days. If you all don't want to vote for it, you don't have to. But, you know, it's been sponsored. It was a little more, but that was the reason why.
Mr. Height, you had a question also?
Yeah, I think the question that I had has already been answered, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. This rehab agreement has a deadline of 180 days from the effective date. We don't know what that date is yet, but it's 6 months out. And then there's also attached to this paperwork a contract or construction agreement between the contractor and the owners of the property. It has a different date on it. It has January the 31st, 2024, if I'm correct. We just want to make sure that the contractor knows that he has to comply with the date of 108, or the term of 180 days in the rehab agreement, not the construction agreement.
That's correct, and I will say, lawyers use form contracts, contractors do. I overlooked this, and the January 31, 2024 date is wrong. It should be, and is, because it's February 31, 2023. And the contractor has initialed my copy of the contract. I will be getting that to the city attorney's office tomorrow.
So the dates will be the same or concurrently, or whatever the term you use, on the rehab agreement and the construction agreement.
It will be completed in 6 months or less.
Okay.
There is one possibility. Windows. The windows have already been ordered, but there's a big supply problem with the windows. I don't think it's going to be something that will cause a problem, but if the windows are not in, we can't finish the project. But we've already ordered the windows and done everything we could to get that fixed. I will just give you that one caveat.
If that happens, we'll deal with it when it happens.
Do me a favor, Mr. Vest, why don't you come back to us, say in about 3 months, and tell us where you're going to be if this thing goes forward?
I will be happy to.
And that kind of gets us a flow of where we are. Don't wait 6 months to say, hey, they're not in. I'd like to have a progress report if we go forward.
The contractor has already started.
Gotcha.
But you're going to do everything you can, or the contractor's going to do everything he can to fulfill the obligations of the rehab agreement, correct?
He's right here. Answer that question.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, I think something. Nathan, do you have anything, sir?
Ownership has not changed over the past 5 years, correct?
That's correct.
So what has changed in the past 6 months where they did not fix anything up, but now they are?
Well, I got involved in this after the house was condemned. If I had gotten involved before, it would have been different, but I wasn't hired until after the property was condemned. In fact, I was at the property when code enforcement came up and put the tag on the window.
Okay.
So things will be different now. We have a contractor. Before, there was no contractor. There is a contractor now. And to address Ms. Fields' response with regarding why there was a delay, that is because two of the people are in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. One at Bricky's, that's 2 hours from here, and one at Calico Rock, which is 2.5 hours from here. And the driving back and forth has been a problem. So things will be different now.
So
because-
Counselor, your reputation is impeccable. I mean, you used to sit up here on this council. So your reputation carries a lot of weight. But I'm not understanding, the contractor I have never met and I'm sure is wonderful, so not casting any disparagement on him.
Okay.
But what if he is not paid?
Well, Allstate had full coverage, my clients had full coverage insurance with Allstate. And I have deposited a check into my trust account in the amount of $102,460.29, which is a partial check for the cost of the rehab. So he can get paid because
It's in your account.
it's in my account.
Okay.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little better.
Some are coming up for, just in case, Ms. Ross.
One of my questions is anytime that we do one of these, I want the owners to come up here and let us know that they understand, because, we've had some come, well, I didn't understand this, and I want them to stand up. So you're filling in for them and saying that they do understand the timeline, and there's no exceptions as far as the timeline, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, now, can we get the contractor up here? I got a question for the contractor.
Sure can. When you come up, please identify yourself, please, and your company, who you're with. Please, sir.
Trevor Akins, Associate Enterprise Construction.
Okay.
Hey,
Question.
One of my biggest concerns, what has been done with the pool? That's always been one of the fears, that pool has not been taken care of. So what have you done to secure the pool?
We're just getting started, so the pool is gonna need a pool liner. I got another contractor that's gonna be working along the side of me to get a new liner and fix the other problems that was going on with it.
Okay, so is it going to be fenced off and, all safety issues taken care of, that no kids can get back there?
Yes, ma'am.
While you're working also, too? So
Yes,
that's,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I know that the neighbors, that's a huge concern.
That's no problem.
Plus, it's against city ordinance, so you will secure the pool?
Yes, ma'am.
The pool area?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's what I want to know.
So,
Mr. Taylor.
what's the budget for this project? How much money is it gonna take to get it done?
The budget for this project is the amount that Allstate is going to pay to complete the project, which is,
Looks like about 141,000, Stuart.
Just-
I'm getting there to help you.
I was just coming up with, here is the estimate from Crawford and Company, and on one of the many pages is the amount that they will pay is $141,573.87, and the contract with Tavoris is for $141,573, so it leaves 87 cents left over. So there is insurance money to pay the project completely.
Summer, if you don't mind, you represent, and I want to have the people that was asked for, y'all are in the audience tonight concerned with this property on Cash River. Can I have y'all stand, please, if you don't mind? Those who are concerned with it. And if you don't mind, I want to ask y'all, can Summer speak for all of y'all right now? Is the question I have for those people stand up, okay? I just want to make sure you're identified. Okay, Summer, you're up for a second, please, for me. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Taylor, I apologize.
Give me those numbers again.
141,000 some odd dollars.
141,000. $573.87. That does not include the pool.
Does not include the pool?
No.
Yeah, because I think the
All of-
pool's gonna take that much.
All of my clients have trust funds. And they're going to pay any overage and the cost of the pool out of their trust funds. And their trust funds have plenty of money to pay that. And also, the house is paid for.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hamilton. I'll come to you, Mr. Baxter, in just a second. I'm sorry.
I'd like to give that one to Councilmember Baxter. He had it before.
Well, no, I was just concerned about, before this even starts, right? That the owners are required to put the demolition costs in escrow, which, I mean, this is the most I've ever seen in my 12 years, right? 5,000 is generally what it is, and this is almost 25,000. So, I mean, that's an additional burden that they're gonna have to deal with right from the beginning, before they even do anything. But if you say and explain that there's a trust fund out there, right, to catch that on the back end, then I'm okay, I guess.
So there's my problem, is those ownership trust funds where they've got plenty of money, they've had that for a long time, and nothing's been done. I have an issue, and I think the neighbors have an issue, with poor property ownership at that site. I'm not gonna pass up a chance to fix the property. So I'll be voting for it because I think the property will be fixed up. But I don't know how long it'll last. In a couple years, it may be all torn down again.
Is the idea for the property fixed and sold, or do you have any idea?
I have an idea. I made a recommendation, and it's kind of lawyer-client privilege, but.
Go ahead.
So you don't have to share it?
You don't have to share the information, I
If you
understand that,
don't,
okay.
It is my understanding that two of the owners who are incarcerated, that is for a significant amount of time. On this, it's like any other rehab agreement, they have the 180 days. If they don't fulfill it, on this one, we have $26,400 in escrow. That the agreement's not fulfilled, code can go out there, spend that $26,400 and knock it down and fill in the pool. And then there'll be a knockdown structure at 1101 Cache River.
Ms. Taylor? No, I'm sorry, Ms. Robinson, I apologize.
The only thing that I'm going to say is that regardless of what happened in the past, they now have Attorney Best that's standing here to represent them and to make sure they follow procedure. It's on the agenda for about rehab. They have spent money more than most that I've ever seen since I've been serving on this council for that place, and anybody spending that kind of money, they got to be serious about wanting to do the work. So what I say is, since they have someone representing them to make sure they follow the rules and the policies in order, let's move it forward. Then if they don't do according to policy, then it comes back before us to tear it down. But let's give the people a chance, my God.
Ms. Robs?
Yeah, I just want to say that ever since we put this procedure in place, which has worked like a charm on these rehab agreements, we have never, ever denied a rehab agreement. The council's goal is not to tear down houses. We want to see these houses rehabbed in the city. And this is just like any other one that we've ever had. And I know that, Mr. Stewart, we got your phone number if we need to get hold of you.
That's right. It's no problem.
Mr. Taylor.
And I have talked to several of the neighbors, and my phone number is 501-758-3320. Anybody can call me.
Mr. Taylor?
The contractor back up for just a
The
second.
contractor, yes, sir. Can you come back up, please? Mr. Taylor?
Make sure. I lost my train of thought. 6 months. You get this thing done in 6 months, you sure?
Yes, sir.
This place is a
Only thing
mess.
that'll hold it up is the windows. Yeah, it's a mess, I know.
He's got a whole bunch of people watching him too. They're sitting right there.
Well, I mean, that don't make him work faster, or, yeah, it's just, I mean, can you,
Yes, sir, I can get it done in 6 months.
okay.
The windows have
License,
been on
you
back order.
you're a licensed contractor with the state board, state contractors board, all that stuff is in order?
Yes, sir.
How about,
Licensed,
you got a
bonded,
business
insured.
license, correct?
Excuse me, sir?
You do have a business license, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Summer, I'm going to ask you, Summer, you understand, I know you're representing the group out there, just saw them not. Now, you understand everything that's going on here tonight, correct?
Of course, yes, sir.
So, anything else you want to add to this before we vote?
I think I would just like to say, last time we had this before the council, there was a different contractor. And so the contractor has changed, and our concern, as I mentioned earlier, is the securing of the property during construction. Currently, that fence is wide open, and a new pool liner is not a safety
I got you.
fix, especially
So
since it's not
security-
in the budget, is what I'm hearing. That 141 does not include the rehabilitation of the pool, Mr. Vaz?
It did not.
So I want to make sure the money is there for that. That would be my question. And also to make sure that, you know, as someone who manages a larger pool, I am aware that there are regulations about fences enclosing that property. It needs to be done immediately, is our greatest concern. Also, during construction, you know, the dumpster, you know, needs to be in a code locate, like the contractors.
Well, Felicia's here. I saw her in the office tonight, and she's my code, and they keep a pretty good watch
Yes,
on
they
all
do.
this. So, other than that, the people in the audience tonight understand what's going on tonight. Y'all understand, correct?
Yes, yes. We just wanted to be clear with the council that currently that pool is wide open as we speak. We have photographs. if you'd like to
Felicia?
see them.
Felicia, are you there? The pool being open, what do we need to do? Can I ask the contractor to get that completely enclosed, or I guess,
I think we can ask the trustee.
I know, there's the trustee right there, but I want to get Felicia, what are you going to suggest, Felicia, if you don't mind?
Yeah, it does need to be secure.
It needs to be secure? Okay. And then the trustee, Mr. Vess.
There's a privacy fence that goes around the pool. We will make sure that it is locked. The gates are locked.
Hang on, Summer, go ahead.
I don't think Mr. Vest is aware that the privacy fence has fallen down. It's rotten, and a whole section of it is removed.
Mr. Vess?
We'll fix it.
All right, here's again, let's go back to it. We're about to vote, but we've heard from everybody, but here's the deal. We want an update. I should sit 3 months. Can you do me an update every month to month and a half to make sure we're on schedule? Because I don't want to sit 3 months down here, and I ain't really worried about windows anymore, Mr. Vess.
Okay.
And so you guys got to keep us going, because we got people in the audience here now concerned. So this council's about to vote on to let you go ahead, go forward, fix it up, but let's put a time frame in effect. Is that fair enough with y'all? Mr. Baxter?
Real quick, Mayor, in the rehab agreement, they have benchmarks to meet.
Okay.
And I just think that we go by the dates listed in there.
Very good.
To ensure that the benchmarks that are listed in our own rehab agreement are adhered to.
Thank you. I like that. Everybody agree with that?
Exactly.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go, guys.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Those of y'all that'd like to leave, you can, or you can stay if you'd like, but I understand. So if y'all go ahead. Mr. Vest, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
R22-193, Mayor Hartwick?
Please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to enter into an agreement to rehabilitate property for certain real property located at 715 East 14th Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Felicia, I'm gonna need you to come up here. Go ahead. So move. Second.
Okay. On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R22-194, Mayor Hartwick?
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an agreement to rehabilitate property for certain real property located at 2206 East Washington Avenue in the city of North Little Rock.
Move for adoption.
Motion adopted, second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris? Yes. Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R22-195, Mayor Hartwick?
Please.
A resolution authorizing execution and delivery of modifications to bond purchase agreements and of sewer revenue replacement bonds and for other purposes.
Move for adoption.
Motion
Second.
adopted, second.
On the motion, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Mr.
This is
Hamilton?
the sewer bonds?
Yes, it is.
I have a,
All right, before we
I'm
hold off,
sorry,
Dan.
that moved pretty quick. Mr. Clayton, could you come up? I have a theory when it comes to budgets and public expenditures. We could spend $15,000 on new computers here, and people would go crazy, and there'd be a lot of newspaper articles about it. But here we're talking about, I don't know, $35 million? $40 million? And that's a refinancing of the bonds, correct?
Actually, it's just restating the current bond ordinances,
Uh-huh.
just only changing the interest rates.
It's changing the interest rates, so how much money, and I just wanted this to be part of the record, how much money will this save the ratepayers of wastewater, of your wastewater department?
The projections is $2,092,991 for the remaining of these three loans.
I appreciate that so much, and thanks to everyone who worked on it. Thanks.
Yes, Ms. Ross.
When I talked to Michael, I told him, you know, when I was looking at this, it was almost like too good to be true. That's why I had to call him and say, are you sure about this? So, yeah, anyway, a great job for all of everybody there.
Where are we?
Hamilton,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
O 2285, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
An ordinance levying a tax on all real and personal property within the city of North Little Rock for the pension, police pension and relief fund, and fire pension and relief fund, the municipal library fund, and the North Little Rock General Fund.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second?
First
Motion
reading.
suspend.
On the motion, Ross.
Yes?
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes. Move for adoption.
Second.
It's something we do every year, so.
Motion adopt and second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross.
Yes?
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross.
Yes?
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
O 2286, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
An ordinance amending the 2022 quota ordinance, ordinance number 9423, for certain city departments declaring an emergency and for other purposes. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings?
Second.
Motion suspend and second.
Ross.
Yes?
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
So everybody will know this, nobody is losing a job on this. I think we explained it, so
Move
yes.
for adoption.
Second.
Motion adopt and second.
Okay, on the motion, Ross.
Yes?
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross.
Yes?
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris. Ginn.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
O 2287, Councilmember Taylor.
Please call it.
Sorry. An ordinance granting a special use to allow a temporary classroom in an R4 zone for certain real property located at 715 North Pine Street in the city of North Little Rock.
I need to call a public hearing on this, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Oh.
So let me go ahead and convene a public hearing on this. O 2287, those wishing to speak for or against this, please come forward. I see some people rising. Come on up forward. Please identify yourself, please, and state your case.
I'm Mike Marler with Half and Associates, and that's the first time I've ever said that before this council.
Sounded funny, didn't it?
Marler Engineering, and Miss
Okay.
Robinson's going to get on to me probably for saying that, but nevertheless. And I'd like to introduce President Jerome Green, and he has other representatives from Shorter, and President Green at this time introduce.
Jerome,
those
can you
with-
introduce someone for me out there, if you don't mind? I just
will.
met
Thank-
her tonight, please, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I have a young lady, Jamie.
Come on up, Jamie.
Jamie Gregrich is a 2022 honors graduate of Shorter College who started college while she was in prison, was released and completed her education. And she's now enrolled at UALR, and she is shadowing me today. to.
I've already warned you about that, didn't I? Okay, I got you, okay.
Well, they asked her to fulfill an assignment by attending a meeting of a public body
Yes, sir.
engaged in public policy. And so she's completed her assignment by being with us here today. And we wanted.
Thank you very much, Jamie. That's very nice of you. Jerome, anything else you want to add to these proceedings on 02287?
We believe that it's very straightforward. The portable buildings that we want to build are on the existing college campus. They are in fact temporary. We have students that we were not expecting. This is to expand, create classroom and other space for our adult education program, which already exists. And we are reintroducing choir and basketball, men's and women's basketball, and we need classroom space for them on a temporary basis. And we're asking the council to permit us to use temporary structures until we can expand our library and expand the gymnasium.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this public hearing? Yes, sir, Mr. Taylor.
So Dr. Green, when we say temporary, what exactly does that mean?
That would mean, in my mind, that would mean no more than a year. But we're working on the plans for the permanent expansion of the library and the gym right now. In fact, on the plot that you have the portable buildings in 2 locations. We have decided to put both of them side by side on the area near the daycare center because we don't want the one near the gym to be in the way when we start the expansion. So we're asking to put them side by side.
And if I could, one of the conditions of the legislation on both this and 02288 is that the temporary classrooms have to be removed by August 31st of 2023. So without, having an amendment to the special use or something like that. So under the terms of the legislation, less than a year.
Ms. Robinson?
And these temporary buildings are needed due to the increase in enrollment. And so, we're really happy that your enrollment has increased, but having these temporary buildings will allow you to service these students and not have to turn them away.
Yes, Ms. Ross?
No, I'm all for it. I'm just curious because I know all the colleges, everybody, I guess after COVID, everybody's ready to get back into the classroom now. As far as parking, because I know that, the attendance is growing, and with these classrooms, would there be street parking in front of these buildings?
The site plan's been submitted. We are going to abide by all the planning commission rules and regulations, and they're reviewing it.
Okay.
So that'll be done.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I'm going to convene this public hearing if nothing else. Seeing none, this public hearing is adjourned. Let's go ahead and call 022.
We need a motion and a second.
Well, first we got to suspend the readings.
Yes.
If y'all
I'm
wanna do
ready.
that.
So move.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, on the motion to suspend the readings, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
I need to ask Mr. Spencer a question or two.
If I had just heard right, you're going to put 2 on one location? You're moving 2 mobile classrooms to the Pine Street one?
No.
Is that what you had said?
That's what we were contemplating doing, so it would not be in the way of the permanent construction.
So if that's what they're wanting to do, we need to
We're not-
Amend it.
amend one of them to say to allow 2 classrooms instead of 1 classroom, is all I was wanting to point out.
So then we only need one piece of legislation there.
Right.
Possibly. This is,
That's correct.
yes. So,
Say, all right,
7:15,
John, get in front of the mic, if you don't
7:15.
mind for me, please, so we can get this straightened. So what are we amending this to possibly look at?
we could flip back to one of the other maps with the
There you go.
we need to eliminate 02288.
Right.
And amend 87 to say 2 classrooms.
Thank you, Sean.
So move.
Ms. Ross,
Second.
before you go, Ms. Ross?
Wait just a second. Here. So both are going at the 715 North Pine Street, correct?
Correct. All right, there's,
I've got a,
Go ahead.
I know that I'm not on the council, but I'm looking at the legislation, and Mike, You have a drawing of the placement of the proposed mobile classroom that's been attached for Pine Street. Now, if they're putting two, have you redone a drawing to show where two classrooms would go?
Yes, we've updated the drawing.
Will you get it to Sean and we can substitute that in?
Yes.
As well with the
that.
amendment? Thank you.
First thing in the morning, so I can get it.
Yeah,
ordered.
so we can get it and get it out.
Ms. Ross?
One more thing is that on this piece of legislation is the one that shows the temporary gravel parking pad. So if you're putting two there, is that going to take away the parking pad? I'm kind of confused.
Mike, did you hear that?
I didn't quite hear that.
Well, on the 715 address, it shows that there's a temporary gravel parking pad there. So by the mobile classroom, is that, if you put another one there, is that going to?
Oh, yes, we'll add the additional parking as required in accordance
Okay,
with
so that.
planning commission
Okay, so you'll
requirements.
still have room for the parking?
Yes.
Okay, that's what.
Yes,
that's-
we've
okay.
got plenty of room.
That's ours.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right, and get us a new drawing in the morning. Thank you.
Have we amended it?
So we had a motion to amend.
Can we get a
Yes.
motion to amend?
There was a motion to
I
amend.
moved.
Mr.
She
Taylor,
second.
Okay.
and I think Ms. Robinson seconded.
I did.
Okay, motion to amend, Ross?
Okay, the amendment is to put two on the,
Add two classrooms
87.
to 715
Yes,
North Pine
yes,
Street, is
yes,
that
yes.
correct?
So everywhere in here where it says a classroom, we'll go back through and put two classrooms.
yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Motion to adopt as amended.
Second.
Okay, on the motion to adopt as amended, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
So 2288, you're going to withdraw it, I guess?
We're going to
Right.
withdraw that, right?
Well,
Yes, sir.
Yep,
okay,
that is correct.
all right. 2288's been withdrawn. I have 3 public comments that's supposed to be addressed at the end of this agenda. Yes, you can.
Mr. Muller?
Mike?
Muller?
Mike? Going Jerome?
Jerome.
President Green,
President Green?
president of the college.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you bring your
Shadow.
Jamie?
shadow back up here again, please?
Sorry.
By the way, I'm sure he appreciates you calling him a young man.
I really do.
I wish you would have called me a young man.
Young lady, we need to do something.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I have 3 public comments that's in front of me here for the end of the agenda. So I've got Miss Vicki Hensley. Are you in the audience? And you remember, it's about 713 Spriggs Road. You got 3 minutes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving me this opportunity to speak. My family and I have lived on Spriggs Road since 1969. Some of my neighbors have lived on Spriggs even longer than that. For about 2 years, my neighbors and I have diligently tried to resolve a problem in our neighborhood. In the beginning, we thought that the problem would just stop on its own, but it didn't. It got worse. We reached out to many people for help, but all we got was more frustrations and anger. No one was listening to us. In fact, the people we thought would help us to solve the problem didn't, and it became a disaster. So by being silent, it got worse. I and my neighbors are here to say thank you to the North Little Rock Chief Thessing, Detective Jim Scott, and the North Little Rock PD. And I thank you for caring about us and our neighborhood when nobody else did. Thank you for resolving our problem when others chose to be silent. Thank you for hearing our voices. because we are the citizens in North Little Rock, and we're proud to be in the North Little Rock. You have renewed our trust and respect and hope when it was tested. We thank you for being there because it means so much to us. You will always have our support and prayers. May God bless you and your families and always keep you safe. Thank you for all that you do. My neighbors and I value for what you have done for us and for Spriggs Road. And it's glad to know that we can have peace once again. So I'm just here to say thank you for everything they've done and will do and continue to do. And I don't know if they're here or not, but I hope that they get this because it comes from the heart. And that's all I got is to say thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I have a Miss Sherry Vi. Are you here too? Yes, ma'am. Remember 3 minutes if you don't mind.
My name is Sherry, and I live at 621 and a half Spriggs Road. We've lived there 45 years. We have never had any problems. I live down the street from Vicky. We had some new neighbors move in, and they were under the assumption that we lived in a nightclub zone. So they decided to have parties, hundreds of people that they didn't know. No one knew. The people didn't know each other. We had 50 to 100 cars parked in our driveway, down our street, excessive noise, obscene things going on in the yard. They are directly across the driveway from me.
So you live at the end of it, at the street there? Is that
Yes,
okay,
we're
I
the
went to your
other
house. Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir. Well, they were having topless parties, you know, just things. I have a 5-year-old grandson. You know, I have other grandchildren. We were very upset, and so I had talked to several people about it. We had called the police several times about it. They had responded several times. These people seemed to think they were above the law, so I just came to thank Mayor Hartwick, Chief Thessing, the aldermen, the council, the North Little Rock police officers that have been there for us. They have come and helped us. They have stood between us and these neighbors. These neighbors, they've threatened to shoot us, literally, with a gun. So I just want to show my appreciation. I know that you get a lot of complaints and everything, and I tried very hard, and so did Vicky. We tried not to be obnoxious. We didn't want to be known as those types of neighbors, but we just want to say thank you. We want to thank everyone that was involved, that helped us. We appreciate the police patrol that we now have, because we live so far out of North Little Rock that no one really knows we're back there, you know. So we just wanted to say thank you, and God bless all of you, and we very, very much appreciate all that you have done for us. I was going to have to sell my house and move. So I just want all of y'all to know I'm so happy I don't have to move now. And that's all. I just wanted to say thank you.
Move to suspend the rules and let her go past 3 minutes.
Okay, well, she's doing good. She's through, she said. Thank you. I have another lady named.
Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Chenault. Is there a Miss Chenault here? Thank you, ma'am. And go ahead, I'm sorry, 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. It's very nice
The
to see.
microphone down, please, where you can hear you. There you go.
It's nice to see all the uplifting things here, and it was nice to hear you say you give people second chances and that you don't want to tear down houses. I am here on behalf of my mother. I am her power of attorney, and I'm here regarding the rehab contract and demolition of 4916 Candlewick. The structure has long been in a state of disrepair, and I am not denying that at all. I have tried to get my mother to sell the property, as have my siblings. She signed a rehab contract on September 8th of last year, and she did not comply with the terms of the agreement. But it does state that we cannot sell the house without the city approval. And since becoming aware of the situation on July the 11th, I picked up her certified mail. She is in a skilled nursing and rehab facility right now. And I picked up the certified mail saying that they were going to proceed with demolition on July the 11th. I talked to my mother. I got power of attorney. I have showed it to contractors, all of whom said that the house was not a tear down. I have received bids from contractors who are familiar with laws, regulation, and process of rehab, and I have forwarded those to the city council, to the mayor, and everyone's aware of it. In addition, yesterday in an hour and a half, I got 16 signatures from Candlewick and Hampton. I got 3 people that told me no, but they said that they would be better with having the house rehabbed, it being, you know, in character and landscape with the neighborhood, as opposed to having an empty lot. There could be problems with erosion. That house is on a sloped lot. I don't know about that, but it could. In the best of the interest of the neighborhood, I'd like for it to be a happy house again. I grew up there. Legal says it's out of their hands. City council says it's on the mayor's desk. I mean, I know something could be done, and I'd appreciate any help. And even when I came today to ask to get on the agenda, it's like I have to have a council member or someone to put me on the agenda. But all we want to do is sell the house. We don't want anything to do with it anymore. But if we could sell the house to a reliable contractor that's good with knowing the regulations and the rehab process, we have provided you with a contract that the contractor said that he would do it within 5 months. He would buy the property, would close within 30 days. He put 30 days as an extension. He would do it shorter if he could. And that would allow us to help my mother, who was, had 2 back fractures and a pelvis fracture since July the 2nd. So,
I had a call about this today from Brother Paul. Felicia, come on up, please, if you don't. I got to catch up. I know we've addressed this, or Ward, whichever, real fast, if you don't mind. Where are we on this? I remember it's been addressed. I'm just going by memory right now. Is it with you, Amy, or what?
Actually, I'm the city attorney, and you've communicated with Rick Hogan in my office. We had sent a letter out in June that we had given Mrs. Chenalta a lot of extensions out of sympathy because of her advanced stage. As I've said to Councilmember Height and to Councilmember Ginn and to some of the others of you, I have received personal criticism for that, for the extensions that we did give to your mother, trying to give her a chance to get the property rehabbed. So sent out a certified letter, like no more time, it's gonna come down. And then we heard from you all, and the city council had approved the agreement that was entered into in September of last year. That agreement had been breached, so I told your brother Keith, I'm like, it is out of my hands. The agreement's been breached. I cannot give it an extension. There will have to be legislation to approve a new rehab agreement with a new owner in order for that to happen. Neither the mayor nor either city council member in Ward 4 have indicated to me that they want to sponsor such legislation.
Let me get and do this. Stay here with me. Felicia, give me a background on this, please, right now, if you can. I know we've talked about it, but.
Yeah, Amy kind of covered it all.
I got it.
And this has been an ongoing issue with this property for a number of years. It hadn't been occupied, do you know, since when? It's been a vacant structure for a long time. We've gotten complaints for a number of years on this property also. But we're at the point now where we just need to abate this nuisance. And so
We haven't done anything, though, that you and I talked about. It's sitting tight right now because it was illegal, if that's what I'm mistaken?
Well,
Or-
it's up to the alderman.
It's up to the alderman now?
It's up to the alderman
Okay,
at this
gotcha.
point.
All right,
Yeah, not in legal.
all right, gotcha. I'm just trying to catch up.
Yeah.
So you're proposing, ma'am,
we just want to sell the property to one of those people that flips.
have you got a person for sale now?
Yes, I have sent a copy of 3 bids. One of them said 12 months, and I asked Larry Hogan to respond back to me. He didn't respond back. I talked to him on Friday. He said it might be 24 hours before he responded back, but I still haven't heard back from him. But I have a Rodney from New Home Buyers, and, you know, he has said that 30 days for closing, 120 for construction, and he said he was allowing for supply chain problems and for weather. And he said if y'all needed anything different to let them know, their offer isn't signed because it's a backup offer.
I got you. Hang on a sec. What's the pleasure of the council? This is just for public comment tonight, ma'am.
Can I speak?
Yes.
The pictures that were shown earlier
Right.
are of the inside of her house that she gave me permission to take. Can we put them back up there?
You guys, did y'all hear that in the back? Got the pictures that we had up earlier?
And then
I mean,
I'd
the
like to
house
say
is
something
in
when you get a minute.
disrepair, I will say that. And plus, we've been in there
There,
trying
is
to.
that them right there?
You know,
Yes,
That's downstairs.
that's downstairs. There's the wall out. That is from a fire. The walls, I guess there was wallpaper on the walls, so it looks, you know, the
Keep
walls.
on going through.
That's where
washer
the
and
laundry room, the washer and dryer go. All that stuff has been removed right there, I believe. That table's gone.
Well,
They have been-
here's how I believe it's going to work. We can go through these pictures, but what it amounts to is you have 2 people to respond to. You got 2 aldermen in that ward, if I'm not mistaken, that we can change. I would suggest you talk to Ms. Ginn or Mr. Height to ask that we give you a time frame that you're going to have to live with. Is that the way I'll explain it, Amy?
Well,
Is that the-
I think that she has talked to Councilmember.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Ginn, and I'm not sure about Councilmember Height, and neither have expressed a willingness to grant additional time on this with a new owner because of the amount of time. I'm not trying to put words in your
I
mouth.
know, I'm just
but
asking
because
where we are on
of the
this.
amount of time that
Mr.
has
Height.
elapsed.
Mayor, let me remind you of what I said to you today.
I've already remembered, so go ahead.
This has been going on for 11 or 12 years over on Candlewick. People I go to church with, friends of mine, people that voted for me, that voted for Councilwoman Ginn, have been complaining about this home for 11 or 12 years. I told the mayor today that most of the time, being a council member or being a mayor is fun. This is one time, this is one issue where it might not be fun, and we can't let our emotions carry away with us and tell us how to vote on this. These people have had 11 or 12 years to clean that house up, and then we agreed to a rehab agreement that they didn't do a thing, didn't even look at it.
Oh, wait.
And then now that it's gone past that, they're trying to give us all their reasons to cause our emotions to change our minds on it. I've told you twice, I've told your brother twice then, no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sponsor legislation that allows you to sell it in February of next year. I'm not gonna do it. My name's not gonna be on it, and if somebody else wants to sponsor it, I'm voting no for it. That's twice I've told you, no.
All right, this is supposed to be 3 minutes. Let me go ahead and put it up. Ms. Ginn, do you want to say anything? If not, I'm going to end this.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I
go.
do, because I think I have an answer. I understand that your mother's desire is to keep the house until just recently. She wanted to keep it. And I appreciate her investing a few $1,000s in that electrical repair work that was partially done. But this resident, just like Councilmember Height has said, has been empty for years and years and years. We're talking about at least 15 years. It has no utility zone. The windows are open. There's holes in the ceiling. There's no cabinets in the kitchen. There's a huge hole in the washer dryer area. The yard is being mowed by the neighbors. And I thank you for inviting me in to get a good look at it. There's not one room that I would live in. even if it was repaired, because the windows have been open with no utilities on, and the rain comes in and everything. And the neighbors were complaining that there was a family of raccoons that were going in and out of the house. A lot of the kitchen cabinets are gone. It cost about, and I don't know the exact amount, but about $5,000 to tear it down to the foundation. The property is still yours. And then you could apply for a contractor loan, have a new house built, and like I said, I wouldn't live in it if it was just repaired, because I don't know what's behind the walls of that place. So I'm thinking that if you build a new house and sell it, you could probably get a better profit that way than you could the profit of just repairing it and hoping somebody would buy it. And that's all I have to say.
We've had our 3 minutes. Does anybody else like to speak, Mr. Taylor?
I guess I'm so confused. How is this one any different than the one we just did?
This one already had a rehab agreement over a year ago.
Well, the other one had a rehab agreement that expired.
Huh?
The other one had a rehab agreement that expired.
Talking about Cash River?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. This is their initial rehab agreement. Now, you've talked to me about somebody in your ward that wants additional time.
Yeah, we're not talking about
Cash
that. I know
River,
about
This is
that.
the very first, what you all did tonight is the very first rehab agreement that's ever existed on Cash River. They entered into a rehab agreement in September of last year. It's very different.
I think you might, I asked when the deadline passed and did they miss it? And that was.
The deadline, the 30 days. We
the 30
always-
days to enter into a thing.
Yeah.
But they get extra time because they were incarcerated, so due process on just about everything legally is extended double almost for.
But her mother that's in the nursing home that owns the property,
She entered into the rehab agreement in September of last year and didn't do anything. This was before she was in the nursing home. She had several conversations with our office, Mrs. Chenault, her mother did, with the planning department to get a building contract on what it takes to get a building permit until, like we told her, you have to have a contractor to get a building permit, and never got a building permit. So this is her mother, I believe, was injured in June of this year, and that was well after the 6 months in the original rehab agreement. And it's like I said earlier, that our office, and I'll admit to this, had given her a few chances. Go ahead and get your building permit, because she was confused about that process.
Certainly was confused about that process.
But
Found that out since, because I found notes written about.
But she
So
talked to
now-
our
now-
office
now
and
we
planning
have-
multiple times.
and now we have a couple buyers that's possibly wants to buy the property, close on it in 30 days, rehab it, and sell it or do whatever they're gonna do with it.
Right.
Wow, okay.
I have had multiple offers. I just presented the city with the top 3 offers.
Well, it's a house. I mean, somebody will buy it. Somebody will fix it up and flip it.
But I can't sell it because
I get
can't
it. Yeah,
sell it
I know,
if
I
they're
know.
gonna tear it down.
Yeah.
It's been
Neighbors
condemned.
want it gone.
Well, I understand that, Councilmember Height, but it's not the neighbor's house. It's their house. And, it's going through the process, but again, we have a lady who was confused about the process, now is in a nursing home. We kind of fumbled the ball a little bit and was a little sympathetic, and now we're gonna tear down this house when within 6 months, we can either have it fixed and sold, just like the other one, or tear it down in 6 months.
We've already given them a chance.
And Mr. Taylor, it's not only the city council members from Ward 4 that can sponsor
was gonna
legislation.
say, I was about to
only-
mention that.
And I think you've been included on the emails that that Ms. Chenault has sent over the last couple of weeks. Usually I just reach out to the council members in a particular
Do
ward
me
in
a
a
favor.
situation like this, but
This is for comment, so do me a favor, Ms. Felicia, if you don't mind. Do not touch that house for another 2 weeks. Let me see if I give a council member to come back and help Ms. Chenault. Is that fair enough with you? So I'm going to put this on a status
Well,
quo, and then I'm going to let y'all handle it. But
I think what we need to do is, we need to get these, whoever it is that's gonna buy this property, they need to they need to come up with a contract, put up a non-refundable deposit, buy the property, and move forward and get the thing fixed and get it sold.
I have.
they're not going to buy it, though, while it's still on the condemnation list.
And I
so
just
they-
held up
but
the
it's-
They're buying it
condemnation.
under condemnation. They're buying it under, I've got the contract here. You should have it in your email.
I'm going to stop every condemnation issue. Do not tear it down. I'm going to give it 2 more weeks, and let's see what it comes out. Mr. Taylor, anybody on this council can help you, okay? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So just do not tear it down, please, ma'am. Is that fair with everybody on this floor?
Yeah, because if it's been 11 years,
I
or
know.
12 years, 2 more weeks ain't gonna kill us.
Exactly. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, talk to me. Go
So
home.
move.
So move. Motion? Second. Let's go home.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
And Height?
If Chris Wood runs across the way, I'd like to see him.